Hello, I'm Deborah Sword, here with my friend and co-host, Tyson Bankert.
Hi everyone, my name is Tyson. I'm a facilitator here, and I'm excited to talk about this.
Tyson, in my experience, conflict managers, including me, are an optimistic group. Pessimists might approach conflict as if change is impossible.
Mm.
Optimists tend to be hopeful of some kind of positive outcome, or we'd quit trying at the first sign of an impasse. I consider you to be an optimist too, Tyson, both in your art and in your community organizing. Is that how you are?
Yes, and I can also be a little bit of a killjoy. I like to keep things real, but I do think positive things can come out of any outcome. I think we can learn a lot about anything through but not everyone is an optimist, and I also honor and respect those who think that optimists don't always see reality.
Right. It's the old expression, if you're not afraid, you're not paying attention. So the
Hmm.
pessimist isn't wrong. In this episode, is conflict competence dedicated to pessimists? Let's give them their due. Conflict does have its negative side. It can be hard and heartbreaking. Some of my saddest moments have come from fights with family members, and I felt defeat and despair because of conflict with those who are close to me. The pessimist who experiences defeat and despair as the consequences of a conflict, they're feeling authentic emotions.
I can see where being pessimistic might make it harder to manage conflict because they feel there's no good way out of that situation. Sometimes it's true, there's no good outcome. But that's also can be true for optimists, right? I mean, perhaps the difference is that optimists are less likely to quit trying before they have hope that a bad situation can change for the better. I think it's really about attitude and our approach to the conflict.
Or each is appropriate depending on the particular situation. Both optimism and pessimism have pros and cons. Maybe you've heard the belief that it's important to have positive thinking and a good attitude to enjoy peaceful personal relationships. But positive thinking and a good attitude can also be twin tyrannies of authentic communication. When your heart's broken, or if you're on a roller coaster of moods, then feeling pessimistic is okay. You're having extreme emotions. Being told to have a good attitude isn't as helpful as knowing that someone listens and understands your pain.
Yeah, I think like most of us, I'm uncomfortable being told how I'm supposed to think or feel about a situation. Go forth and be negative if that's how you feel at the moment, right? No need for, I think, that toxic positivity. But the pros of optimism do include perseverance and believing that an unpleasant situation like conflict can change for the better. The cons of optimism are that, in general, people should be able to experience their real emotions without feeling judged as if their true emotions are wrong and their thoughts are inappropriate. Deborah, what would you say are the pros of pessimism?
Oh, good question. Conflicts carry risk for everyone involved. We've discussed some risks in past episodes, and I'm sure we'll have more to say about risk in the future because conflict and risk do travel together. That brings up the usefulness of being a pessimist. In last week's episode, we discussed running through your mind different scenarios so that your preparation and decision making are more strategic. Pessimists expect risks and bad situations will happen. They can prepare to meet them. Optimists do too, but tend to have a greater trust that they'll deal with it when it happens.
Hmm. I think about by having expectations, um, that risk will come to pass, right? Anytime you have expectations. And I think the pessimist is preparing. They're managing their expectations that could build capacity to overcome obstacles and create resilience. Turning the twin tyrannies that you speak of positive thinking and good attitude into something less judgmental and more proactive.
Okay, how about instead of the twin tyrannies of positive thinking and good attitude, we have the twin conflict competencies of strategic thinking and defensive attitude?
Yeah, I mean, that applies to both optimists and pessimists, right?
Mm.
Defensive attitude means thinking through the bad things that might happen to plan how to overcome them. It might be difficult, but the exercise of reflecting on all of the possibilities that will also make for more strategic thinking. Another point of this discussion that I'm thinking of is that there's no one way of being that's better than the other. Whether you're a pessimist or an optimist, you bring a strength to the table. That's what Conflict Owner's Manual is for, to show that you already have what it takes to own your conflict. We need everyone along this spectrum.
Excellent point to end on, Tyson. Thanks for listening, everyone. We hope you'll subscribe to our podcast, like it, share it, and leave a comment or a question. Let us know if you're an optimist or a pessimist and how that helps you be more conflict competent.